Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 17th of May. So we've got a quietish week ahead and certainly a quietish day in terms of economic data coming out today. We've got, he's just saying, just looking at exactly what I was just catching up last week's there on here, but absolutely nothing that's popped up on the list today. But if you look at the lower level data, there is a bit of lower level data due out it's tomorrow actually. I was looking at Monday, and Monday's absolutely blank. So nothing today at all. Then it's tomorrow. We've got some sort of lowish level, but very quiet week ahead on the data front, as I was saying. So let's have a look at the technicals, and we're starting off looking at the euro dollar here. So a bit of a more bullish sort of close to last week, and well, we could be heading back to those well, making a new, if not breaking the highs, making new highs here, near-term highs at least, and not seen since February possibly. So it's quite a tester for this week, as without any of the data around, we're sort of left to maybe some speakers out there from time to time, and just the natural movement of the markets. Coming down the time frame, so the euros, it has had a bounce off its weekly pivot. It's a nice start to the week. It's a bit of support there, good bit of support off the pivots often. Where to from here? Well, it is looking like, well, as I say, upside potential. A break of Friday's highs, yep, that would push us up towards today, probably 21.71 would be the R1. That's the prior highs there, the body highs. So let's see how it floats, but it's looking pretty good at the moment. Okay, that's the euro. The pound also, same sort of shaping in pattern there. The candle sort of closing not far away from its highs, looking positive at this stage. With no other data around, it does look positive. In fact, I'm just going to have a quick look at one other factor that sort of comes into play, and that's the yields on the treasuries. But the treasuries were running up towards 1.7 last week, the yields, sitting much lower this morning, starting off at 1.61, so just checking that off. So the treasuries at this moment not removing the pressure away from a stronger dollar. So at the moment it looks like we could see a bit more of a weaker dollar through today, at this stage at least through the morning. There's no pressure there. So as I said, the pound pushing up, solid bounce again, well, both daily and weekly pivots here. So solid start to the week from where we are. The pound has just gone into Friday's highs there. It's having a bit of a reaction to that. We'll see how it see what comes of it after 8 o'clock, but again, looking positive at this stage. Dollar yen, well, the yen's recovering against the dollar, so sliding back a little bit here, back into its monthly pivot, really strong, and weekly pivot just air kissed the weekly pivot, but might still have a little bit more to be doing there. It's through its daily, it's through everything at the moment, with lower highs, lower lows. It does look on the softer side at this stage, so might have another thought about my short on the yen. We are slightly positive at the moment, but I'm just sort of looking at where it is at the moment, and might be quite aggressive for the stop on it. The position wise, it was shaping up okay fundamentally, but technically it's going against me. There'll be a bit of point where the patience runs out, and I just say, well, actually I'm wrong for now, but we'll see. Aussie dollar again, this sort of turning movement that we're seeing there. On the dailies, it's at the moment it looks like with everything else could catch a bit more of a bounce. Interestingly, the dollar's actually underneath its 4 hourly, a weekly pivot even. A break back above that would be much more bullish. At the moment it might just provide some resistance. It's just about where the Friday's highs were, so it might just provide some early resistance. The Aussie had been slipping back a little bit in these markets, and well, it might not all be done to the downside yet. If the other markets roll over, well, the Aussie might just roll over a little bit easier. Canadian dollar, well, regained a bit of strength against the US dollar here, pushing back down. I'm obviously bullish on the Canadian dollar. I've shorted the US stroke CAD. So I'm on a short position on this pairing, looking to see how this continues. Again, it's sort of a relatively bearish, in this case inverted, a bearish sort of move sitting there at the moment, and well, it could just well be sliding over. So I took this position on Friday, this short. If you watch the Friday's video, you'll see the reasoning, some of the reasoning behind it, and certainly the technicals behind it. It was just waiting for a breakdown. Had a bit of a push up during the weekend there, or during the weekend, early starts and pushing through, but back down, looking like it's heading in the right direction for my trade at the moment. Right, and I mean the bear flag that was sort of sitting here, that's also sort of triggered. So positive start at least. We'll count our chickens when they hatch, I suppose, or don't count them till they hatch. Euro yen. This was softening a little here this morning. It has softened. It's sort of pushed in. It's been, I mean, continuing on a daily basis. What has been a decent shove up there. In anyone's book. Last week, just coming back to the weekly pivot, bouncing up. It's a bit short of its weekly pivot at the moment. If you're looking at this, trading it could find some support off there. If it breaks down later on into that area with the prior highs, might be worth looking and see if it finds a bit of support. Maybe on the shorter time frames, it may give a better clue. But a break and a bit of a bounce around that area, with everything still sort of on the higher lows, higher highs, bigger time frames, it does still look quite positive there for more upside. Okay, that's that. Let's have a look at the other markets. Look at the S&Ps. So S&Ps wise, well, just because I said I think on Thursday, well, perhaps it is really having a bigger correction now. Of course, it turned back, and well, there's no reason why it won't continue in the potential upside here. Well, one little reason might be this weekly pivot might just draw it down this morning, early shift, but with the threat of interest rate increases seem to be diminishing a little bit for now, and some of the numbers sort of supporting a slightly weaker dollar for now. That would be good for the S&Ps, and a bounce off the weekly pivot would be quite nice if it occurs. I mean, it may just go without it. It's quite bullish looking on this time frame here, bullish flag here that seems to be wanting to break around at this stage. So that's all looking quite bullish. Gold, normally a weaker dollar is a stronger gold, and that's what we're seeing there. Pushing up from the sort of bullish finish. It finished right into the highs last week. It's broken through that now, looking much more positive actually. I did wonder if the monthly R2 would just hold it, but it's broken through that now. Maybe you'll see a correction this morning at some stage. It's had such a move up here. We'll be surprised if we see some sort of correction, but a bigger correction would look at the daily pivot, weekly pivot. Smaller corrections just look into the 20, back towards that 21. Might see that sufficient support on this market, subject to what the other what the currency is doing. If the dollar starts gaining a bit of strength, we could have a bit of a problem there with the gold. It might just stall. Okay, that's gold. Oil's been having a good old time. Thursday sort of sell off, Friday bounced back again. The way everything's moving at the moment, weaker dollar, it's more bullish gold, and we could see yet another move up towards its monthly R1. Not a lot more to add on that. It's still heading in that sort of more bullish sort of zone overall. Smaller time frames showing a bit of weakness through what we saw on Thursday, Friday there, but nothing too worrying from the longs positions. Okay, that's oil. Finally, Bitcoin had a bit of a poor weekend. Let's just come down the time frames here. You can see it's gapped down this morning, but there was selling over the weekend on cryptos, and certainly Saturday, Sunday we've seen a sell-off, and again this morning it's rolling off at the moment. Ethereum also a bit of a retrace here. I mean, if Ethereum was to retrace a bit more, it may provide some people, and judging by the bounce it's seen off that 3-2 area, maybe having buyers coming into it, but it does look quite, it has been a bit of the darling of the pairings. Ripple just sort of sitting there and consolidating in a phase there, in a bit of a wedge pattern at the moment. So all Bitcoin seems to be being hit the hardest, whether it was because of Elon Musk and his comments that he won't take Bitcoin now to buy a car, because of the cost of mining and obviously the environmental damage of that. But he still will send rockets up in the stars there. But anyway, on that note, I wish you a great day, and I will catch you in the morning. No other questions there? Nope. Good. Have a great one. Bye for now.